some dirt in there.
Gosh.
Now, put yours up in. There you go. Just like that.
Pick it out. I want to do this.
Huh? Yep, from Papa.
That's dog. That's wow.
It ain't dog. Let's get a dirt cloud.
This is doing the other part.
Hmm?
Guys. Hey guys.
Well, hey guys, how y'all today? You gonna tell them hello?
Hello. 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 Talk. It's my work.
Huh? All right. Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Poorboys Little Homestead. Guys, today, Colton and I, y'all seen him helping Papa get him shift him some dirt out. That's out of my compost pile, but you can see it's got a lot of sticks and twigs in it, so we shifted out. And I use this when I make my seed starting mix. If you want to go back and watch a video on how I make my seed starting mix, I attach it above. But I still, even though what I'm doing today, I'm finna take some sweet potatoes. And I don't need many slips, cause all I'm gonna do is one little round bed of sweet potatoes. No, don't bring that in here. But I don't need that many slips, but I'm finna start me some sweet potato slips right here in this soil. Now this pot right here is about half full of soil. And I'm finna place some of these sweet potatoes right around in there. And it don't matter what size sweet potatoes you got to make slips, especially when you don't need many slips. This is gonna make way more slips than I need.
That's big.
And as you can see, in this pot, I'm only gonna be using, you gonna put that in there? Alright, well I guess I might be using 6. That won't fit. We have to feed that into the rabbits. Papa's gonna take one bag out. We'll feed them 2 to the rabbits. How about that?
How about that, guys?
How about that, guys, he says. But as y'all can see, I just got 5 potatoes, and I just set them down in the soil right there.
I don't think it.
Now we're gonna cover them up with dirt. And we're gonna take some of our other dirt that me and Colton shifted out, and we're gonna cover them up. Now this soil's damp. You gonna put a nothing in there? We don't need them there, buddy. Them there go to feed the rabbit. Can you take them and feed them to the rabbits?
I don't want it.
Here, put them in the wheelbarrow dirt. Plant them in the wheelbarrow for Papa. No, look, plant them in the wheelbarrow. Here you go. You plant your potatoes in that bucket. How about that? Here, put them in that bucket. He's wanting to help Papa, guys. So I'm gonna cover these up with soil here.
Guys, you see that?
Guys, you hear that? He said our neighbor just fired a gunshot over there. And we just gonna cover them up with soil, just like that, guys. And that's all I'm gonna do. Gonna pat it down tight, probably. Well, maybe we gonna pat them down tight also. We're digging that. We done with this bucket. You planting that bucket.
Hey, guys.
And guys, all we're gonna do now, we're gonna set this bucket right up here, this pot with these potatoes in it. I'm gonna set it right in the corner right there. It'll be out of my way. And I'll make sure when I water my plants down here, I keep it moist. And we're gonna let it sit there, and we're gonna grow some sweet potato slips. Now sometimes you can grow a sweet potato just by setting it in your jar of water just like that, and it'll start growing you some slips out the top. Matter of fact, I got one in my house doing that. And it would probably be enough slips, but just in case, I wanted to go on and put some in this soil and start me some sweet potato slips this way. Now y'all continue watching my videos, and then later on I'll show you an update of the slips that this thing grows, or either if it's a failure. You know I don't hide my failures. I ain't sitting here claiming I'm the #1 gardener out here, but we can learn together. If I have a failure, we're going to talk about it and see if we can figure out what caused it. But this here works. Ain't no difference in planting sweet potatoes in the ground. We grow sweet potatoes around here, the big farmers do, and that's why I ain't never really grew no sweet potatoes. I can go buy a couple of boxes of sweet potatoes at Sweet Potato Harvest, and these sweet potatoes here are still sweet potatoes that's left over from last year. Well, we bought just one box because we don't eat that many sweet potatoes, me and my wife. Sometimes we get 2 boxes. I'm not sure what varieties these are, because like I said, this is what the local farmers grow around here. But I know they stored long term, because these potatoes has been in there all year in the house, and we still eating them. And one tip right here, guys, if you buy sweet potatoes and you want them to store, or if you grow sweet potatoes and you want them to store a long period of time, when you dig them or when you buy them, do not get them with the dirt washed off. Now you go to your local markets and stuff, they already washed, or your grocery stores, they already washed, and they ain't gonna store that long. But when we buy our potatoes from the local farmers here, we drive up to the shed at the farmer. Most time we have them delivered to us, because my wife cuts hair, she cuts most of the hair, so they'll bring the box of potatoes with them. But we tell them we don't want ours washed. We leave that dirt on them, and they'll store all year long. What are you doing with Drake? But guys, that's how we're going to start a sweet potato slips. Now we'll give y'all a little update on my little greenhouse, what's going out here. Come on out here and plant these in this for Papa. Can you plant them in the wheelbarrow? See if we can distract him out there for just a little moment. So I still ain't put nothing out in my greenhouse. I still ain't done my major starting yet, but I do have a few tomatoes in the house. I may show y'all when I go in there. But out here in my little greenhouse that I set up inside my cow panel greenhouse, y'all see where I was starting me some fig trees. And that's just off of cuttings. And y'all can see that one right there is coming out right green. That one's coming good. That one's growing good. Matter of fact, it looked like every one of them is taken, and that was a surprise. This fig tree right here, I'm not sure. Leave me alone. This fig tree right here, I'm not sure what variety it is. It's been in my mom. There's one right there. That ain't gonna make it. So I ain't gonna have 100% success. I can see already, unless that comes back, but it don't look like it. I don't think that's gonna make it. That's why I planted so many, because I ain't never started a fig tree like this. But it looks like I'm going to have a pretty good success. But I was saying, I don't know what variety that fig tree is. It's one that's been in my mom's yard for years, and it makes good figs and produces good every year, and I wanted one of them. And this right here, y'all can see this was my marigolds. So out of all these cups, let's see. Well, there's a little bitty one popped up there. That might be one right there. There's one cup. 2. Well, there's one there. That's pretty good success. It don't look like, but 2 ain't popped. And guys, I didn't start these on no heat mite or nothing. Now back here in the back, some pansies. On this tag right here this way, and the pansies didn't do good. I don't see but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. That wasn't good at all on that little pack of seeds. And the mixed zinnias, they done good, because there's one. Now there's one there, but that's an empty seal. Well, there's one trying to pop right there now. I ain't sure about them 3 cells back there. Them 2 cells don't look like nothing's trying to pop. Them 3 look like something's moving the soil around. But even if they don't pop, that's pretty good success, because the other ones you can see's got more than one in them. Now the pansy, that was zinnia's mix right here. The next one over, this row right here, is zinnia Oklahoma. With them 2 rows of zinnia Oklahoma, I got 2 tags on them. That was a good success, because even the 2 that ain't got one in it's got 4 or 5 in some of these other ones. Now the zinnia Aztec, just a pack of seeds I bought, says zinnia Aztec, A-Z-T-E-C. Them 3 rows, you can see ain't near one of them popped. So that may have been not a good seed, or may take longer to pop. But now these been out here about 2 weeks, because like I said, I started them out here. I don't put them on a heat pad or nothing, because I ain't that concerned about them. Now my onions down here, y'all can see, that's a good, first 2 rows, 3 rows is red rock onions. They all, every cell's got onions in them, and more than one. The next 3 rows is Texas Grand 502. It look like it might be 3 cells that ain't got no onions, but these other cells has got more than one in some of them. So that was a good success to not be. All I done is put them out here, and I ain't had a heat mat. I ain't done nothing to them. Just give them a little water and keep them down. And you can see that's perlite on top, and it's turned green. What that is, guys, that's where I've overwatered them. Now the candy onions here didn't do so good. Let's see. Yeah, that ain't gonna be good at all. But I still got enough to put in one little round container bed or something. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that's more than I need. But that's why I started so many of them, because I didn't know if they was gonna work or not. Then we got some more zinnias. Cut and come again. What these was going on the back, and you can see them doing good. Like I said, this has all been out here. I ain't sure exactly on the date, but somewhere around 2, maybe 3 weeks. But if you seen that video when I done it, I said it's gonna take all this stuff a long time to germinate, because I wasn't using it on a heat pad, and it was cold out here. Extremely cold nights in the 20s. And here's some more Texas Grand. I was starting inside a water jug, and you can see they doing probably 50% germinated already, but I think that's all it's going to germinate as long as it's been. I don't know, I see a couple more down there just barely popping. I must have dropped a zinnia seed or something in there. There's something else over there in the corner. But guys, I didn't use no heat pad. I just keep my temperature on my heat lamps there, set on, keep it at about, well, them nights said it was. Hold on. Hold on. What do you want? Talk to him.
Look at it.
Okay guys, I'm back. I got him over there feeding the rabbits. Sometimes Colton ain't very cooperative when this videoing, and I apologize for that, but that's the only time I got the video sometimes is when I've got him. But anyhow, what I was saying to y'all, some of y'all probably watch all of my videos, and y'all seen when I was showing this setup here, it uses the heat lamps back there, and it's temperature controlled there, and it keeps the temperature when it's freezing in here. It keeps it up there above 40. It hadn't got below 20 here this year, but it's still it down there close to 20 them few nights. It keeps it above 40. But when I started these seeds on these onions and flowers, and even them starting them fig trees, this ain't that important to me, so I knew it's gonna take them a long time to germinate. But you see they germinate and they doing good, and they just gonna continue to grow. Now I got some stuff in the house. I started indoors on my heat mats, but I ain't started my main starting yet. It'll still be another week or so before I start. Probably close to 2 weeks before I start all of my main gardening seeds. Last year I started everything too early, and then we had that late winter, and I done had to pot stuff up in gallon and a half pots, and this whole greenhouse, it didn't have nothing set in here, and the floor was just full. And I said I wasn't doing that again, so this year I just started me one tomato plant of my main tomatoes I wanted to have, and each of my pepper plants and started some of my herbs indoors, because herbs take so long. But guys, that's just main thing. I was doing a little video today to show you how you can start you some potato slips just by planting you some potatoes in, sweet potatoes, in some little dirt like that. Cause them 5 potatoes will make way more slips than I'm gonna need. That, if they do what they ought to do, that'll probably be enough potatoes there. You can plant you a good 20-foot row, maybe 30-foot row. I don't know according to how many slips, but I ain't doing mine. I'm doing mine in the bed, so that'd be way more slips than I need. But you can get several slips off of 1 potato. And it varies, I'm saying that. But on average, I would think you could get you a good 20-foot row off of 5 potatoes. And you don't need real big potatoes to start sweet potato slips. But anyway, guys, I'm going to take y'all in the house and I'm going to show y'all what I got started in there real quick. Just know this is a little short video, and I appreciate y'all watching. I hope it. Some of you may have never started, sweet potato slips and wonder how to do it. And I know you people seen back in school we experimented and done it by setting it in a glass of water, but that kind of gets aggravating trying to have several jars of water sitting around potatoes, because it takes them a lot longer doing it that way also. But y'all just keep following along, and I'm going to keep giving you updates on what this looks like, what the potato slips look like as we go along this year in gardening. Y'all know I do more videos than just gardening stuff, but right now that's really ain't nothing going on gardening or not gardening, other than preparing, getting ready to garden. Alright guys, we back in the house now. You can see I just got 5 tomato plants started here that I planted early. These here are 4 weeks and 6 days old today. And I keep these in the house until I get ready to start all my major seeds, and then I'll pot these up and put them in the greenhouse. Yes, that's a little early and they're gonna be a little big. This is 1 of each of my, actually I said on my last video I didn't say cauliflower and peppers, I just said 1 of peppers, but that's 1 of each one of my peppers I'm going to be planting outside. And this is 1 of each of my eggplant, and these 3 on the front is cauliflower. Actually I'm going to be doing 4 eggplant, but I didn't have the seeds at the time I started these. Now here it was a little while later when I planted actually these 2 habanero peppers were started the same day as them tomatoes and peppers and cauliflower and eggplant. That's habanero heatless peppers. Now these other tomatoes here, and guys, all these other tomato plants right here and this herbs and stuff was started about 2 weeks ago to 2.5 weeks ago now. And that ain't all of my tomatoes. Like I said, I'm just doing a little bit in stages. Now y'all hear Colton in there. He's in there watching cartoons, still hollering. But what we was talking about a while ago, starting sweet potato slips, you can start them in a jar with water in it, just like that. And that's been sitting there in the windowsill. And you can still see it's got water down in the bottom, but you can see it's filling up with roots and it starts making slips. But it takes a long time. What about? Okay, hold on. It takes a long time to make slips like this. Now in reality, this 1 potato is going to make enough slips for me, because all I'm going to do is 1 little container right there, 1 little tractor tire or truck tire of potatoes. I think I'm going to put them in that truck tire, which is about a 3-foot round circle of sweet potatoes. But like I said, we can get sweet potatoes, our local farmers around here. So I'm just growing a bed of them again, just trying them. I tried them last year in that container tub, and if you watch my videos, you see I didn't have no luck with planting them in that tub. Over here in this corner, I got my red Lesotho potatoes. They sitting over here. Just set them in a cool place and just lay that paper sack over the top of them, and you can see their eyes is starting to sprout out. It ain't gonna be but about another week, maybe 2 weeks. I'm finna be planting my potatoes. But when you plant your potatoes, I'll cut these potatoes, and when you cut them, you want to wait at least 48 hours or up to a week, but that 48 hours is about all I ever do. Cut them, and I try to leave 2 or 3 eyes on each chunk before I plant it. But 5 pounds of potatoes are 5 pounds of good seed potatoes. By the time you cut them and get you 2 or 3 chunks out of them, that's about a good 30-foot row of potatoes if you was doing them in rows. But like I said, if you get your seed potatoes, put them somewhere where they can get good air ventilation. And I just lay the paper sack that they usually come in, or when I buy them around here, they in a paper sack, and I just lay that paper sack, set them right back over here. I also still got some seed potatoes that was left from my red soda taters from last year I dug over here. I actually had enough of them. So now I'm gonna plant 2 beds, and who knows, I might end up planting an extra row in that garden out back. But that's what she looks like in the house there, guys. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. God bless. Hope y'all have a great day. See y'all next time.
So scared. That's today the feeding rabbits.
That's good. Tell them, say, guys, today we're feeding rabbits.
That's feeding rabbits.
Welcome to Poorboys Little Homestead.
That's a little homestead. That's an orange tomato.
Potato.
Potato.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato, orange. It's orange.
Guys, I think he was so mad because he was wanting to make his own little video. So I set him up over here and let him make y'all a little short clip of his own. Feeding the sweet potatoes to, who you feeding?
Kelly.
You feeding Kelly.
This is C.
Yeah, Kelly. And that's letter C.
That's the letter B.
Yeah, this is Gwen, and that's letter B.
That's letter.
That's Reba, and that's letter A. Guys, when he was before he was even old enough to talk, I had these labeled A, B, and C. Instead of trying to tell him the rabbits' names, I just tell him A, B, and C. And on this cage, we got the whole list of alphabets. That's how we taught him his ABCs. He could say his ABCs before he was a year and a half old.
C.
Yep. B. A. What's all these?
The ABCs.
The ABCs.